This morning, the Lord's Supper talk will be coming from Acts 2, verse 42. After 3,000 souls were baptized on the day of Pentecost, we are told about some things they were continually devoting themselves to. To devote oneself means to be fully committed. When they continually devoted themselves, it meant that they never stopped being committed. The first disciples gave themselves over fully to what they were doing. But what were they doing? What did they continually devote themselves to? They devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching, the essential doctrine. They devoted themselves to fellowship, to being a united people of God. They devoted themselves to prayer, communication with God. I think we easily understand these three things and why it is important for the disciples to devote themselves to these things. There was a fourth thing that Acts 2:42 says that they were devoting themselves to. They were continually devoting themselves to the breaking of bread. That expression can simply refer to a meal or a supper, but it wasn't just any meal. They weren't devoting themselves to eating, but to a memorial of a meal established by Jesus before his death. The Lord's Supper, as we call it, is not just some quaint custom. It isn't something we do when it's convenient, or when we happen to remember, or when we feel guilty that we haven't kept the memorial. Rather, it is something we commit ourselves to. We stand steadfastly by the memorial of our Savior's death. After all, it's the most important thing to us. Without the death, burial, and resurrection, we have nothing. This is a continual devotion. We gather on the first day of the week, every first day of the week, in order to devote ourselves to the memory of that singular event that made our redemption possible. We will continue to devote ourselves to this memorial until Jesus returns. Please think about these things before you partake.